Welcome to After Wine School, the podcast that demystifies wine and makes it approachable for everyone. Join Keith Wallace and Alana Zerbe, two of the nation's leading wine experts, as they uncork everything you need to know about wine, from picking the right bottle to mastering unforgettable food and wine pairings. This isn't about stuffy lectures or confusing jargon. It's about enjoying wine the way it's meant to be. So grab a glass and let's dive in. Don't forget to subscribe to After Wine School today.
Welcome to After School, the wine podcast.
Hey, I'm here. My name is Keith Wallace. I'm the director of the Wine School of Philadelphia, and I'm here today, as always, with Alana Zerbe, the director of wine education at said school. And I should mention that our sponsor is the National Wine School. Fantastic school for online education, but also issuing sommelier programming. Absolutely fantastic. I love them. I love them.
Glad.
Yes. All right. So today.
Disclaimer.
Oh, disclaimer. Yes. Sorry.
Love us as much as we love them.
The expressions and opinions and the whatever weirdness happens on this podcast, this is just our opinions. This does not reflect on the National Wine School, the Wine School of Philadelphia, the U.S. government, or even the FBI.
Certainly not.
I think I've covered all bases.
State Department.
All right. Okay. So now that's all done. So,
that was a good disclaimer.
Good. Right. So, all right. One of the things is, teaching for 20 years. I've taught for over 20 years now.
I know.
And I have run so many lawyers in wine school, right? Becoming sommeliers, going into the wine trade. And, over a decade ago, so was you. You were a lawyer. Now you work with me. What happened? Who hurt you?
Okay. I generally don't like talking about myself. So This is not the most comfortable topic, but we do know a lot of people who go into wine from having all types of careers, but lots and lots of former lawyers. And I too, yes, I did go to law school and I practiced briefly. And the joke I always make, it's lame, but I'm
What is it?
say it.
I don't remember it.
I always say it's where I learned to drink.
Oh, yes.
It actually is true.
I've never met a lawyer. I've never met a sober lawyer out of the courtroom.
Well, sober, yes, but they are always in wine class trying to justify the consumption.
Oh, it's not just that. I mean,
Sure,
let's just be honest about
yeah,
something here.
Sure.
Because lawyers are a very specific kind of person.
Yeah.
Now, you do have to, the lawyers I know, and tell me if I'm wrong about this, but most lawyers that I've met have a really great background in classical literature. They read a lot. They love writing. They have a lot of passion that it seems that when they were younger, it seemed that was all focused on something, the one kind of job you can have where you can make a good income, but also deal with text, with writing. Like most of your job is interpreting and arguing parts of literature, of law, of language. Like, I find that fascinating. It's also a lot of logic. So I find that people who are lawyers or want to be lawyers are really just, they're English majors who had better sense in high school. I was an English major. This is why I'm saying this. My pre-retail degree. When I realized that, that was it. I got as far as I could go I became a journalist, and then the same thing. But, I probably made in like the 7 years I was a journalist, what you made in like 6 months as a lawyer. Let's be honest. It's much smarter choice. But talk to us.
Talk to us. I think that's true. And I'll tell you, I definitely was one of those people who went to law school because I didn't know what else to do. I loved languages. I loved the written word, and I loved studying and learning about different cultures. And in college, I did study abroad in China and learned Mandarin and absolutely loved that. But I couldn't fathom me in any kind of business role or academic role. And so I had a short period of time to figure out perhaps what to do. And so law school made sense. But I think what a through line is for me is I love when you can take something and use it as a lens into another culture. And so you feel closer to that culture. It's interesting. It's a way to connect with people from all kinds of different backgrounds.
Okay.
I did a little bit of comparative law where you study different legal systems and compare them to our legal system. And what was immediately of interest was it really shows you the way a given place structures their legal code, what they really value, what's really important.
Oh, okay.
Bear with me.
This is fascinating. Yeah, so it really is. Okay, this is very interesting, actually.
So I found with wine, when you get into wine from a particular place, it too is very reflective of the values. So, for example, Italian wines are always going to go well with food. That's such, a cornerstone of their belief system is that you have wine and food together. And I loved being able to look at a culture through their wine and then even into the picayune matters of how they choose to govern their label requirements or, things of that nature. So that's what I really like about it. And for me, that's the through line.
That's really interesting. So largely it's the culture, the thing that whether it's law or whether it's wine, it's a lens you can look at to see what people are like and why they do what they do. And you can actually see a much more deeper view of who they are. And it's being immersed into who they are in a way that you can't do if you're just a tourist.
Right.
That's interesting because as you've talked to me about this, about like Italian law and how weird and different it is versus our law. And it makes so much sense because of, how they are such a different people. And working there, yes, like it makes sense that it's different. And how the legal codes are interpreted between California and the East Coast is completely weird and different because they're such different people. Like me being an East Coast guy working in California, Napa for so long, it just did my head in. And what they thought, the things they would pull you over for and complain about were so different than what they would complain about here. Like you could be smoking a joint and drinking, and they wouldn't pull you over. But if you were playing music too loud, they definitely would.
Oh, you're talking about in a car?
In a car.
Oh.
Yes, in a car. Like, where else are we going to be smoking a joint and drinking at the same time? In a car, of course. Please do not do this. Do not do this. Please don't do this. But however, it just was, but it was like, and depending on, of course, that depends on the town and all that.
Sure,
but yeah.
Yeah.
But you would never get pulled over playing your music too loud, on the East Coast.
Right.
But West Coast, it did happen.
Right.
That was an weird experience. But yeah, so things like that, even the interpretation. So I love this. And I'm glad we have you. And I'm glad that we have so many lawyers. Like we have one of our students who was a tried and true lawyer. He took our core program and then became a perfumer. He fell in love with wine. And yes. This is for you, Stanny. This is for you, brother. Love you. It's absolutely fascinating how lawyers, and it's wonderful. I always make the joke that we have so many lawyer friends or students that I could do anything in the world, and I have like 10 lawyers on speed dial.
Right.
Including you.
Will they answer your call? Are they still licensed?
No, I really probably should ask. I guess I probably shouldn't call the perfumer like, no. I don't need a new cologne.
No.
I need to get out of prison. Yeah.
So, yes. So that's my background. I think what I would say to people, it's always hard. I think we all have a little bit of imposter syndrome and wonder if you're leaving behind a traditional career. You're leaving behind a certain amount of status. And, I'll admit I'm the black sheep in my family, just like you're the black sheep in your family.
Absolutely. Yes.
After Wine School is proudly supported by the National Wine School, the gold standard in professional wine certifications. Whether you're dreaming of a career in the wine industry or just eager to take your wine knowledge to the next level, the National Wine School has you covered. Their programs are trusted, rigorous, and designed for aspiring wine pros like you. Visit wineschool.us to learn more and start your journey today.
So these things are considerations. At the end of the day, though, hang it up if it's not for you. The sooner the better. Nothing matters that much. And I think, I'm very grateful that things turned out the way they did.
Absolutely. And all you got to do, to be honest, is, do an internet search for former lawyers, wine, and you will find thousands of it is really, we welcome you. Come to us. We welcome you into the fold of wine.
Yeah.
It really is. A lot of the law is always essential. And I always talk to students who are thinking about making that transition. Like you never move away from what you know. You incorporate what you're moving into with that. Like, you want to keep that, because the law and understanding the law and just that way of thinking matters, and it really is very effective and really helpful in the wine trade. There is so much that is involved the law in what we do. It's a controlled substance that you have to ship across state lines, but it's also a food product. You have to understand these things, along with the poetry of wine. We need it, and there's a lot of times where I'll come to you. You're our director of wine education, but sometimes because I'm the founder and I'm supposed to be the business guy, I'll come to you and you will know so much more. Like, I'll ask you a question like, what should we do here? And you'll always have the best answer.
I know about that.
Yeah. Oh my God. No.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's not test this too much further. I think it's time to taste some wine.
On that note, all lawyers or former lawyers, yes. Let's introduce what are we drinking today.
Let's introduce. So today we are drinking Cab from the Loire Valley.
Oh.
This is a Saint Nicolas de Bourgogne.
This is
the
awesome.
appellation. Amarone les Malagnes. I said that terribly.
Wow. Well,
that's probably still terrible, but
that's really that is far better. That is one of the hard things to think of. It's after hours, because there are times like some of these tongue twisters, you have to pronounce them in a way that is both correct but also understandable to Americans, and that's actually not the easiest thing in the world, because they have to understand it.
No, and it is after hours. We're a little tired.
Cheers, everybody.
Let's drink it together.
Well, we're going to cheers here.
Okay.
I want to cheers people before I taste it.
Okay. Misophonia warning. We will
Oh, yes.
So everything's fine. We'll alert you when we're going to
this is
take
awesome.
a sip.
Okay, first off, this is Cab Franc, Loire Valley, Middle Loire, Cab Franc. And here's another warning, green pepper alert.
Yes.
Look, this is one of my favorite all-time wines, especially here, but also Chenin, this whole area. Cab Franc, yes. But if you do not like that smell of pyrazine in the morning, I love the smell of pyrazine in the morning. But if you don't like that, it's not for you. It just never will be. But this is my go-to for my Burgundy replacement when that's too expensive. It's the elegant, beautiful thing. I've smelled this a little bit, but
well, the nose is a really beautiful balance between fruit and those earthy notes.
Oftentimes they're very much like bright cherry, but here it's more darker.
Yes.
I think plum.
Definitely dark plum.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Juicy red flesh.
I know. Oh, that smells so good. You don't think that green pepper and plum would make sense together, but on as an aromatic, it does. Oh, yeah. Really does. It's that sweet and savory note. I love this. And now, I'm really curious. Usually these are pretty high acid, but this is such dark ripe fruit. I kind of wonder if it is.
All right, let's take a sip. Me too.
Really quietly.
Yeah, me too. See, that was good. So silky.
Now, caveat, I did pour this about a half an hour ago, 45 minutes, so it's been decanted, so it has opened up quite a great deal. It wouldn't be this smooth and supple when we first opened it, but it is like, it's got great texture.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It has that thing that you love in red wine. It has that thing. It starts with a 1 and a 3, 13% alcohol. Where are you going? Where are you going with this? What freaky shit are you going to talk about?
My favorite 13 to 13.5% red wine is just divine. We need to drink more of it. It goes with food so well. And yeah, it's a beautiful, long finish, really well balanced, medium acidity.
I love this.
Yeah.
This more modern, this movement towards like later harvesting, and a little, it's getting a little bit more warm in the middle Loire. You know, it's one of those places I'm very thankful for global warming. I'm like, please, more.
Yeah, no,
no, not really, but yes, here it's really important because it's fleshier than they used to be. Yeah. They are harvesting a little bit later. They're waiting for a little bit more phenolic ripeness. It's glorious though. And the finish is quite long. I'm really surprised.
Yeah.
And it also is, it doesn't have that much oak to it, but it does have the notes of cedar, which is very classic Cabernet Franc. Also Cabernet Sauvignon, by the way. I am happy.
I think that's the perfect way to wrap up.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Was it misophonia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That is serious. Don't mess.
All right. This one.
We're going to wind down.
Well, cheers. Yeah.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Folks, before you go, please like and subscribe. No matter where you're watching or listening us from, by all means, please tell your friends. If you want to hear a little bit about wine, some good information in a very much more relaxed environment, not pretentious, just and very, very honest behind the scenes information.
After school.
This is after school.
Is not serious.
But, you're going to get, I think that what we do here is really, really important. It's, it's not, we're not standing up straight. We're just being who we are and getting to actually, enjoy wine with folks, having fun. I'm being honest. And I think that that's so rare in our industry. So please like, subscribe, tell people, rate us. Look, please just rate whatever you're listening or looking at this. Say, this is amazing.
Oh, 5 stars.
If you give us 4, I will personally come to your home and actually pet your dog the wrong way. I will also, if you wear glasses, I will switch out your prescription to mine. And I will also replace all your shoes with shoes that are 1/2 size too large. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all there is to say. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for spending time with us on After Wine School. If you enjoyed today's episode, hit subscribe so you never miss out on more wine wisdom, tips, and laughs. Until next time, raise your glass, savor the moment, and cheers to you.